Hi, my name is Imelda Jimenez Lamar, and I'm a product photography coach helping handmade sellers learn how to shoot product photos that sell online. And today, I want to talk about something that I think you can relate to because I know I can relate to, and I think we need to talk about it. And that is, what do you do when you get stuck in product photography? What do you do when you get frustrated? What do you do when you just want to throw in the towel? Because this is something that my client brought up with me because they were just in this headspace of just feeling like nothing was clicking, that they weren't making progress, and just not feeling motivated. And I've been there, and I'm sure you've been there. There are times where we're just not getting the results that we want. Things feel really hard. Nothing's working out right. And it can be really hard to just keep moving forward when you feel stuck. So I want to share with you a couple things that I hope can help you move through that, because I don't want you feeling stuck or frustrated in product photography to hold you back from actually taking photos and getting your products listed online. So the first thing is that you have to remember that when it comes to photography, you're going to take a lot of not so good photos, especially when you're just learning and starting out, right? When you're learning how to do something, you make a lot of mistakes. You mess up a lot, right? And it's the same thing with product photography. When you're learning it, you're going to take a lot of not so good photos. But the more photos that you take, the more likely you're going to get some good photos. And this is true of like professional photographers or even amateurs. It's the same experience. They'll take tons of photos, and there'll be maybe a handful of photos that they end up liking. So be okay with knowing that you're not going to get a lot of great photos, but the more photos you take, the more likely you're going to get some good photos out of it. So the next thing is that sometimes we have very high expectations of ourselves and kind of have to remember where we're at. Especially when things are taking a lot longer than you want, especially in product photography. When we're learning something, sometimes you just want to already have learned it and be able to move on, right? I've had that experience with learning Spanish. Sometimes I get very frustrated and feel like I'm not getting it, and I just want to hurry up and know it, right? You're like, can I take something and just magically know it already? But that is unfortunately not something that's going to happen, right? We have to just keep showing up and keep practicing. So being okay with where you're at and not having such high expectations of yourself that you feel like you're always behind, or that you feel that you're always that you're just never going to get there, because you will, the more that you practice and experiment with your photography and the more you keep showing up, because it's the practice, it's the thing that is going to help you keep moving forward and improve your photos. So be okay with knowing you're not going to take a lot of good photos. Be okay knowing that you may not get it all right now, but you will the more that you keep learning, the more you keep implementing, and so on. It's not going to feel like that forever. You're not going to be where you're at forever as long as you keep moving forward. So, just be kind to yourself, be gentle to yourself, give yourself a break, and just keep moving forward one step at a time. Don't keep looking at where other people are, or all these amazing photos, and wondering why you're not getting those images, or that you're never going to get those images. It's just one thing at a time. You got to just keep putting one foot in front of the other and not looking at how far the finish line is, right? It's a journey. It's not necessarily the end result, but it's a journey. The other thing too is that because product photography is something that you may not like doing in your business, but you probably need to do, right? Because it's not something you probably like doing, is motivating yourself to do it is probably harder than maybe some other areas of your business, right? Like making things. So what I have done for things that maybe I don't particularly like doing but need to get done is I'll put some music on I'll put on a playlist or I'll listen to a podcast and have that playing while I'm taking product photos or, doing something else that I don't like doing. And it makes it a little more enjoyable. I feel like I can focus on something else that I actually like versus, doing this other thing I don't like doing. So if photography is that for you, find a playlist that you really like that'll get you in a better mindset, or even a podcast that you really like listening to that can be playing in the background that you can listen to while you're taking photos. Do something to help make the environment that you're creating to take photos be a little more enjoyable so that you are more likely to show up and more likely to do it, right? Because I know it can be really easy to put off. Lastly, the thing that comes up with product photography is that it can be very overwhelming, especially when you're trying to make a lot of changes, which you might be doing, right? Maybe working on your lighting, trying to figure out your background, trying to figure out your framing, trying to understand your camera, like all of these things, right? So I encourage you, instead of trying to do everything at once, right? We kind of know how hard it is to make lots of changes at one time. It may work temporarily, but it's really easy to throw in the towel because it can feel very overwhelming. So instead, focus on one little change and do that for a little bit and then move on to the next thing. It's like the same thing that people talk about with their eating habits. Instead of trying to, go to the gym 5 days a week and eat plant-based 5 days a week and do all these things, why not just make one meal a week? Go to the gym twice. Like, make it into bite-sized chunks that make it easier for you to implement things and to work on things instead of trying to be overly ambitious and do so many things at once. So I hope some of these help you out and give you a better perspective about kind of where you're at and how to just kind of keep moving forward so you don't feel stuck when it comes to product photography. I would love to hear from you. Let me know, how do you feel when it comes to product photography for your business, and what do you do if it's not photography but some other aspect of your life? What do you do when you feel stuck? What do you do to help move yourself through that? I would love to hear from you, and that is all for today. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.